So xij equal mu plus alpha I plus beta j plus epsilon ij. This is your mathematical model for RBD, randomized block design. Here I is a subscript, gives number of treatments 1 2 up to V. That means we are studying RBD with V treatment. J indicates number of blocks 1 2 up to small b. So we have a design with V treatment and B blocks. In this mathematical model, Xij is a yield per plot where ith treatment is applied and the block under study is zth. So Xij stand for yield due to ith cell in the design, in the layout. Mu is a common effect. Alpha I is effect of treatment. Beta j is the effect of block. And epsilon ij, that means for every plot, there is some effect of random factor, error factor. We make an assumption on this mathematical model. Number one, all observations are independent. That means all values xij are independent. Second assumption, what you ask me, different effects are additive and constant in nature. Third assumption is, in the model, epsilon ij is a random variable, follows normal distribution with mean 0, sigma is square. Zero sigma is square. Step number 2, that means what I'm trying to explain, I'm trying to explain you statistical analysis of RBD. If question is, give in brief statistical analysis of RBD, your step number 1, you have to write a model and you have to explain that model. After that, step number 2, you have to write a hypothesis under study, what is called as a null hypothesis. So for RBD, you have two assignable factors. One is treatment and other is blocks. So for treatment, we make first statement H naught 1, effects of treatment are equal in their effect and on average it is null effect. H naught 2 is effect of material, that is a block. We divide heterogeneous material to homogeneous block and we assume all blocks are equal in their effect and on an average it is 0. This is your step number 2. Step number 3, you have to write different notations what you are using for analysis. X bar I dot formula is summation for j1 to b xij divided by b. It is very easy to remember formula by using a notation. Notation is x bar means average, I dot. So when you write a formula of this notation, you write a summation for dot. Dot is here j. So j running from 1 to b of your individual observation, and as it is the average, so this is the total of b values, so divide by b. So this stands for mean of ith treatment. Now here x bar dot z, that means dot is for I. So if you want to write a formula of this, it will be equal to summation I 1 to v. Because in model, I have written I is 1 to v and j is 1 to b. So same thing in the formula. I 1 to v xij. It is a total of v observations divided by b to get a mean of jth block. B, remember, when you want mean of ith treatment, take summation over j. If you want to get mean of jth block, take summation over I. That is to be remembered. X bar double dot is double summation I1 to V, J1 to B, Xij divided by BV, that is mean of all observations, called as overall mean. So X bar double dot is summation I1 to V, J1 to B. When I say X bar double dot, that means summation is for I, summation is for J. So this is a total of all observations under study, and number of observations are BV. So you have to remember these three formulae for making an analysis of RBD. Step number 4, partition of total SS, that is a total variation, into different sum of squares. Let us consider total sum of square is double summation I1 to V, J1 to B, Xij minus X bar double dot square. This is the formula for your total sum of square. I think I explained this everything already. Okay, even though I will repeat today, double summation, I want to make a partition. Partition means what? I have to make a division. So double summation as it is, xij, I subtract mean of treatment and at the same time I add the mean of treatment. So this plus and this minus get cancelled. Subtract mean of block, add, subtract mean of block, add mean of block. That means this cancel with this. Minus overall mean plus overall mean. So this and this get cancelled. Minus x bar double dot from the original formula. So what is this curly bracket? It is a rearrangement of this original formula. No change. Xij at first place, minus x bar dot double dot here. The rest part cancel each other. So it is only rearrangement of original formula. Now what I do, I write this expression in various brackets. I take mean of treatment minus overall mean. That means this minus x bar double dot here, plus mean of block minus overall mean. So this adjusted here, this adjusted here. This is taken at this bracket. So xij minus x bar I dot minus x bar dot j plus x bar is a one bracket, and the rest like this. So it is a rearrangement of this step. So this and this is similar. Now what I do, I apply the concept of a squaring. You know a plus b plus c square. How it is written? It is written as square of a plus square of b plus square of c plus product of each with other. this with this, this with this, and this with this. So that is a product terms. So after having this, we say we write we write double summation of square of first bracket plus b. Now you can see in this bracket only I change. So j is a fixed. So j start from 1 goes up to b. That's why I write here b. Similarly, in the next formula, here j is changing and I is fixed. So I is 1 to v gives you v times this bracket square. Plus product term is 0 by the knowledge of first year. Sum of difference from corresponding mean always 0. So all the product, three product result into 0. Now by looking these three different quantity, it is x bar I dot minus x bar double dot. This stand for treatment sum of square. This stand for block sum of square, and this is for error sum of square. So we are able to write total sum of square as error sum of square plus treatment sum of square plus block sum of square. This is called as a partition of total sum of square in RBD. How to write by notation? S square T is a total sum of square equal to error is S square E plus treatment is S square small t plus block is S square B. Now we have formula for each of them. Step number 5, you have to write partition of total degree of freedom. What I am telling, it is exactly parallel what we did in CRD. CRD and RBD analysis is similar. I add only one more component, that is nothing but variation due to the material named as a block. So you add only one more variation factor, that is a blocks. And so we have partition of total degree of freedom. As the total SS is calculated on the basis of all observations, which are nothing but BV, and one constraint, that is double summation xij minus x bar double dot equal to 0. So due to this constraint, degree of freedom is BV minus 1. Treatment sum of square is calculated on the basis of V treatment, so it carries V minus 1 degree of freedom. 1 degree of freedom is less due to this constraint. Similarly, we can write degree of freedom for block sum of square as B minus 1. The reason is similar treatment. One constraint is 0, that's why B become B minus 1. And error, quite naturally, BV minus B minus V plus 1 degree of freedom. So finally, we write total degree of freedom, that is BV minus 1 equal V minus 1 treatment degree of freedom, block degree of freedom plus error degree of freedom. So if you simplify this, you will get answer BV minus 1. So by using partition of total sum of square, partition of error sum of square, we prepare analysis of variance table. So step number 6, under the following null hypothesis, H naught 1, alpha 1 equal to alpha 2 dash dash alpha v equal to 0, H naught 2 beta 1 equal to beta 2 equal to dash dash beta b equal to 0. Under these two hypotheses, we prepare ANOVA table, analysis of variance table for RBD. This is the layout which is common to CRD. Column number 1, source of variations. That means when you conduct the experiment, your data is not steady, it has a variation. Sometime yield goes up, sometime it comes down. Due to so many factors, we divide these all factors in two categories: assignable factors and chance factors. So under RBD, we have two assignable factors. One is variation due to treatment under study. Other is variation to the material, that is a block. And third is variation due to the chance causes called as an error. And then you make a total, this plus this plus this gives a total variation. Column number 2, we prepare a degree of freedom. Just now I told, by making a partition of total degree of freedom, this is a total degree of freedom, we divide this in three different sources. For treatment, V minus 1, because there are V treatment under study. For block, B minus 1, because there is a B blocks under study. And now this your error is obtained by making a subtraction. Total minus treatment minus block, answer is B minus 1 in V minus 1. If you add these three, treatment, block plus error, you get a total degree of freedom. Sum of square by the formula what is written under page number 5. This is your error sum of square, treatment sum of square, and block sum of square. By using this formula, you get some values, and that values are replaced in this column, sum of square. Mean sum of square, that means this number divided by respective degree of freedom, called as mean sum of square. The last column of ANOVA table is F ratio. S square T, this value divided by error, S square E. This is labeled as F01 calculated value. S square B, small s square B divided by small ac square. This is F02 calculated value for second hypothesis. So by using these calculated values, we make a testing step number 7. That is the last step of making analysis of any design. It may be CRD, it may be RBD, and one more design in your syllabus, that is LSD. So testing procedure, now we want to define a test statistics under H01 and H02. Let us take number 1 hypothesis. H01 alpha 1 equal to alpha 2 equal dash dash alpha v equal to 0. I want to test this hypothesis, whether all the treatment are equal in year effect or not equal. That I want to decide, I want to test. So under H0, we define a test statistic, that means formula, as F01 equal S square T divided by S square E. This is small e. This follows capital F as a distribution, F distribution, with treatment degree of freedom, that is a numerator, comma, error degree of freedom, that is from the denominator. By using this with given level of significance, I get a table value from statistical book. I call that is F table. How to take a decision? If calculated value in the table, that means this value, if it is greater than a table value at given alpha LOS, then reject your hypothesis. That means what is the rule of rejection? Calculation greater than table. You reject. Otherwise, accept H naught 1. Now the similar procedure is for H naught 2. Beta 1 equal to beta 2 equal to dash dash beta b equal to 0. What it says? It says all the blocks are homogeneous in their effect. Define the test statistics F02 S square B divided by S square E that you get from table which we prepared. Here you get F02 by doing the calculations by calculators. So this is a calculated value and you compare with this table value. This gives a table value f with b minus 1, comma, error degree of freedom. What is the conclusion? If calculation is greater than table, you reject your hypothesis. Otherwise, accept your hypothesis. This complete your statistical analysis RBD, ANOVA in RBD. Totally how many steps? Totally 7 steps your answer should contain. You have to begin with mathematical model, then you have to write hypothesis under study, then you have to make partition total sum of square, then you have to make partition of total degree of freedom, then you have to prepare ANOVA table, then you have to make a decision under null hypothesis H naught 2 and under null hypothesis H naught 2. So totally 7 steps are there for making a brief analysis of any one design. You are studying 3 designs, CRD, RBD and LSD. Now after this, suppose your null hypothesis for treatment is rejected. That means your treatments under study are not equal in their effect. If it is accept, that means all are equal. So no further analysis. But if hypothesis is rejected, then we are curious to decide out of many treatment under study which is good in their effect. That is to be decided, and that's why we proceed ahead if your null hypothesis is rejected. It is done by using pair T test. I write a conclusion here. If H naught 1 is accepted, then it says that all treatments are equal in their effect. Hence, statistical analysis is complete. You have to stop. But what is the next paragraph says? If H naught 1 is rejected, then it says that treatments are not equal in their effect. Not equal means there is a treatment which is better than other. So we have to search that particular treatment which is more effective in your design. And that is done by testing procedure for pair of treatment in RBD. This is a new topic and very important. So here what we do, we take a pair of treatment. Pair means 2. So suppose there are 3 treatment A, B, C. My H naught is rejected. That means they are not equal in their effect. So A may be better, B may be better, C may be better. So how I can decide whether A is good or not? So for that purpose, I have to compare A with B, A with C, and then I have to compare B with C. So by making these 3 comparisons, I am able to decide which treatment is better than other. That is called as testing pair of treatments. H naught hypothesis for testing alpha I1 equal to alpha I2. So I2 is a second treatment, I1 is a first treatment. Firstly, I say these both treatments are equal. Against, I write H1 of three types. They are not equal. First treatment is greater than second. Second is greater than first. So out of these three hypotheses, three statements, any one is true. And then I am able to say whether first treatment is better or second treatment is better. This can be done by using a formula which is called as test statistic by using a t distribution. T0 equal x bar I1 dot minus x bar I2 dot. So average effect of first treatment minus average effect of second treatment, total divide standard error of this difference. So this is taken in the denominator for getting a standard error. How to explain this formula? X bar I1 mean of I1th treatment, X bar I2 mean of I2th treatment. This formula follows T with error degree of freedom. What is standard error of difference? Root 2 times SE square by B. B stand for number of blocks. Small SE square is mean sum of square that is coming from your table. This is the value of mean error sum of square. Take this value in this formula. You get denominator. We have numerator and denominator. You get a calculated value for T0. We have decision procedure for testing H naught, and that is reject your null hypothesis if absolute T calculated greater than table value at alpha by 2% LOS. Accept H naught if absolute calculated less or equal to T tabulated at alpha by 2% LOS. Why here alpha by 2 taken? Because your H1 is not equal to type. So when I say not equal, it has two possibility, may be greater or may be less. So that's why level of significance split in two parts, half on the left side and half on the right side. If your H1 is of only one side greater, that means right hand. So calculation greater than table with alpha, not here alpha by 2, because it is only one side hypothesis. If it is two-sided hypothesis, we take a modulus and alpha by 2. Third possibility is H1 alpha I1 less than alpha 2. The decision is parallel. If it is greater, rejection is greater. If it is less, rejection is a less. So reject your statement if calculated value less than table with 1 minus alpha percent LOS. Otherwise, accept H naught. This completes entire analysis of RBD. Today, we'll stop at this stage. We'll see tomorrow estimation of parameter by least square method that I will try to explain in tomorrow's class.